Welcome in to episode 4 of the Coach Ali Smith Show, brought to you by the folks at Twin City Used Cars. So, Coach, you go on the road for the second consecutive week. You start region play and get a big rebound win against the Buckhorn Bucks Friday night.
Yeah, much needed win, great team effort.
So when we talk about that game, your offense was much more explosive. Talk about the two runs. First of all, the run by TJ, then the catch by TJ, and those explosive plays for the offense.
You know, I think that we didn't have any explosives the week before, and I think that we looked to focus on trying to have some explosives. We want to have one or two at least every game, if not more. But the guys did a good job of taking advantage of the matchups.
So in addition to that, your defensive line able to get some pressure. Barber actually tied a sack record with 4 sacks in that game. Talk a little bit about your D front on Friday.
Hey, the guys met the challenge. They understand that to win a region championship, you're going to have to be able to stop the run and meet the challenge of that, and they did a great job of it.
So over the course of the last couple of years, one of the things that's been big for your team is special teams. I know last year we had a number of returns for touchdowns, and already this year a block kick that was returned for a touchdown. And then Ty Sims, in what we're deeming the play of the week, he gets a kickoff return for a touchdown. So walk us through that play of the week, Coach.
Well, one of the things that we know, they wasn't kicking the ball deep at all. They've been kicking it around the 15, 20-yard line, and our front guys knew that they had to get back and get set pretty quick. Ty actually caught the ball right where we either wanted him or TJ right there all week. We had practice. He caught it, he waited, gave him a little time to set up, and then he did the rest on his own.
And, of course, that was right after Buckhorn had scored, their only touchdown. You won the game 40-7 and really took the momentum back for you.
Absolutely. It was a good momentum swing right there for us, and so big play for us.
So one of the things that I want us to just mention for a second here in segment 1 is the fact that your team got a really neat opportunity this weekend thanks to Darnell Mooney, former Gadsden City Titan. Talk a little bit about going to the Falcons game, what that meant to your guys.
Man, I thought, I spoke with a gentleman yesterday about, Darnell being one of the most humble kids, one of the most hardworking, one of the most malleable young men that ever walked these halls at Gas City. And for him to just give back to give those kids that opportunity, some never have been to a professional football game, and you may have one that's sitting there and looking and saying, I'm the next guy. And that it may be an experience, if not, to just keep working and build up to being successful in another part of his life. But, Darnell, he's a personable person with our kids, and he kind of keep his hands on a lot of guys in the program.
And they didn't just get to go to the game. They got to be on the field as the teams come out for the national anthem.
Absolutely. That was a big deal, and they was the national anthem team. We didn't tell them that until they actually got there. We wanted that to kind of be like a little surprise for them, but I think the kids really enjoyed it.
So after the weekend, the Titans 2-1, getting ready to go on the road to McAdory. We'll talk about that in segment 3. We're going to close segment 1 here and be back with our player interview in just a moment. Welcome back to segment 2 of the Coach Ali Smith Show here in week 4 with our player interview for the week. This time, junior defensive back, running back, and a little bit of everything back for the Titans, Ty Sims. Ty, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
So, Ty, one of the things I want to talk with you up front, and this was the first question on my sheet, it's not just because we had the conversation a minute ago, is about the importance of an education to you. What does it mean to be a student athlete?
It means a lot because you can't really go anywhere without education, no matter how good you are. If you got like a 2.1 GPA, you can't get recruited. So it's just very important to have good grades.
So with that being in mind, what's your favorite subject right now?
Science.
Science, and your favorite teacher?
Miss Burns.
Miss Burns is your favorite teacher.
Yes,
okay, she was a pretty good athlete herself
No.
back in the day, right? So what does Ty Sims like to do in his free time?
I like to go to the field or just play the game, just relax a little bit.
So you just like to relax and hang out. Okay, all right. So who's been the biggest influence on your life?
I'll say my cousins, majority of my cousins.
Your cousins? All right, who's your favorite NFL player?
I'd say Brian Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins. Okay, all right. So kickoff return last week. Like we're not going to go back to week 1 and talk about the block kick. Everybody's talked about that. Let's talk about the kickoff return last week. Talk about how that play unfolded for you.
They were kicking it there all night, so when Coach put me, I knew they was going to kick me the ball. So when I called it, I was kind of looking to my right a little bit, and all of them was coming that way. And then two of their guys on the backside opened the back door. I looked that way, I just took off. It was over with from there.
You scored on the kickoff return, and of course we talked about the change in momentum, but a great play for you already. So we have McAdory this week. As a defensive back and a leader on that defense, what are you looking for this week against the Yellow Jackets?
To out physical them all night.
So they like to be a physical football team. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Last question. Who's faster, Coach Smith or Coach Avery?
Coach Avery.
All right. Well, that wraps up our second segment. Ty, thank you for joining us. We'll be back for segment 3 right after this. Welcome back to segment 3 of the Coach Ali Smith Show here for week 4. Coach, we shift gears now and talk about the upcoming opponent here in week 4. Go out of region one more time, this time against a team that Gaston City's never faced in a varsity matchup before, and that's the McAdory Yellow Jackets.
Absolutely, a big challenge for us. Really big challenge. They're a big football team, a very athletic football team, very well coached football team.
Both teams 2-1. They lost to Helena. We lost to Hewitt Trussville. And so they bring in, you talked about athletic. I mean, this school is a storage school, maybe because, I don't know, Bo Jackson went to school there.
Absolutely.
But Bo, fortunately for us, is not suiting up for McAdory.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
We're glad he's not. However, they do suit up some really good athletes, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. So talk about their offense for a moment.
They on the edges, those skilled guys really could take the top off. You miss a tackle, they can take it the distance. Quarterback has a really strong arm. He could flick it with just the wrist and he can go. And the offensive line is probably one of the biggest that we've seen this year, and they do a really good job.
So that's offense. Defensively, man, they like to be multiple, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. You're looking at playing a little 4-2-5 look like, and then you got a little 3-3 stack there. So they do a really good job. They go try to confuse your offensive line with some blocking deals there, and so it's going to be a big challenge for us.
What would you say are the keys for your team against McAdory?
The biggest thing is us taking care of football, controlling the ball like we've done the last week or so, and just really just being us and being true to who we are and trying to get better in all 3 aspects of the game.
Obviously, they're talking about the remnants of a tropical system coming in, chance of rain. We talked a little bit about that last week, didn't have to deal with it, but a better chance this week, still doing wet ball drills and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to do the wet ball drills and different things like that, and then we're talking to our kids about it, going ahead and letting them know the possibilities of being able to handle that, so it's not going to be a surprise if we have to play in the rain. Whether we do or we don't, we still got to play football.
Does that change the way you approach the kicking game?
Well, we hope not. We look into it, that we worked on it and different things like that. As long as it's not affecting the kids that's actually doing the kicking or the long snapping or different things like that, we should be fine.
Okay. Well, Coach, good luck against McAdory on Friday night, and go Titans.
Go Titans.
That'll wrap it up for the Coach Ali Smith Show Week 4, brought to you by the folks at Twin City Scars.